Ty Murray, the three-timed all-around champion, set the tone in Tacoma with the first Bull Riders only victory. The G-Man, Michael Gaffney, gambled in the first round to grab the greenbacks for the win in San Diego. In Salt Lake City, the boys came to ride with 3 scores in the 90s, 2 by Clint Bronger, including this Bro world record for 94 points. In Denver, only one man could master the ferocious bulls of the third round. It was the Nolan Ryan of the Bull Riders, 39-year-old Wasey Cathy. Wichita saw the same ferocious third-round bulls, but the Bull Riders had packed their riding pants, and after watching a 90 and a 91, the Cajun Kent Richards hung on for 93 points. These are the top 5 seeds. It ain't been as smooth for some of the rest. Failure in this sport brings more than disappointment. It gives you scars so you won't forget. Hold on, fans. It's bull riding time on Prime Network. The 1991 Bull Riders Only World Championships are presented to you by Coors, co-sponsored by Roper Apparel, and by Tony Lama Boots.
Howdy, everybody. I'm Bob Tallman. There's enough excitement in this house tonight to make the water in Long Beach, we'll let the salt out of it, Gary, is what we're talking about. We're talking about the 1991 World Championships of the Bull Riders Only Series. We brought the best cowboys and the best bulls from all across the United States, and we're looking at the Long Beach Coliseum tonight in a standing room only house. That's SRO for BRO, and we're ready to ride some bulls. But with me is the expert. This is the guru of the bull riding world, world champion Gary LeFew from right up the road in Santa Ynez. He lives at Napomo, California. But, Gary, in all of the years of all of the kids you've taught how to ride, and some cowgirls, too, you have watched probably 80% of these kids come into their bloom, and they've got some blooming to do with these bulls here tonight.
Well, without a doubt, these are the toughest set of bulls I've ever seen put together. You seen them 2 weeks ago at Pocatello. The top 8, they rode 1 out of their 8. They are primed and ready. They're in shape. The excitement's in the air. You got the top 30 bull rider. You got Wolfman, the best bull at the finals last year. Rocky, maybe the best bull in existence right now. Ricky, the most dreaded bull in existence. I mean, you ain't gonna get no better than this.
He's calling them dreaded, but I want you to meet the guys that are gonna put the mash on them. They're gonna ride them like 4-H calves on a Sunday afternoon. Here they are. Wasey Cathy, we call him Pappy, 39 years old from Big Springs, Texas. The head of the Roscoe Rangers from Roscoe, Montana, that's Clint Bronger. The G-Man, Michael Gaffney from Lubbock, Texas. Ty Murray, the all-around champion cowboy last year with over $300,000 won. And the Raging Cajun Kid, this is Kent Richards from Iowa, Louisiana. Folks, there's no other way to look at this, but we've got the most exciting event in California. And as we talk about bull riders only in world championships, Gary, let's get ready to ride them. We're going to be back to do that, Gary LeFew and I and the Bull Riders, right after this message. Stay with us.
Who is this?
Welcome back, everybody. This is Bob Tallman along with Gary LeFew in the Long Beach Coliseum to a standing room only audience, and we're ready to ride some bulls in the 1991 World Championships for the Bull Riders Only Series. Our camera crew is going to get you closer tonight, and you can smell them. You can see the sweat start to bead. We've got a hand in a rope. We're ready to ride. It's one at a time, one hand free and one hand in the rope. Mark Kuhn, our first cowboy from Mandan, North Dakota, in an 8-second contest. And our rodeo judges are ready to mark him on a 1 to 25 on how he rides and a 1 to 25 on how the bull is going to perform. As we look to this 16th qualified cowboy, of all of them, we're looking at fancy shirts, black hats, fancy chaps, and a $10,000 #1 prize to be winning in the World Series. Here we go, Gary. Let's ride him.
He's got one of Meisner's bulls. Charlie Brown should spin both ways right here. Got a lot of well to him. See him take him down on that inside, Bob. That is called the well. Whenever you get down there, that's nothing, no water down there.
I was just going to say, how good's the water in the bottom of that well? It's not good at all. 1 out, 1 down. It's Bulls 1, Cowboys 0. Now, in the qualifying rounds, when we talk, you've got to ride one in order to make it to the next round, and the next round, and here in the World Championships into the final round. Let's try it again. Let's go for number 2. How much edit break? You tell me the cue goal.
Who is it? Who is the rider?
Tough Tiedemann.
Tough?
Oh, okay. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we've got a 2-time world champion in front of you right now from Bowie, Texas. This is Tough Tiedemann, 28 years old. whatever this man wants to do basically is what he's going to do. And Gary LeFew, you've watched a lot of young kids come in with rough and ready, tough and ready, we're ready to ride, with what I would say is one of the stickiest kids in the world. His averages, not just in Bull Riders Only Series, but in professional rodeo, are so much higher than any other bull rider in the country, with the exception of Jim Sharp, Clint Bronger, and say there's a half a dozen of them. He's at the top of the pack.
Tuff Hedeman is the guy I use in my school to have my students model. He is without a doubt the toughest bull rider in the world, in my opinion. He is the guy that if I was starting out, that I would look at, watch every move he does, and then just try to model him, because he is the best.
Look at the aggressiveness here now. This big horn dude blows for the first time. Around and around to the right we go.
Oh, my goodness.
Your model is on the ground, Gary LeFew.
What can you say when you bring a guy like Tuff Hedeman down? We talked about the stock earlier, Bob. When you bring rank stock, you can even throw the best in the world off, and that bull darn sure bucked.
Tuff Hedeman has got one of those expressions, whether he wins, loses, or draws, when he is all through, it takes him another 10 to 15 seconds to let that adrenaline boil out. He knows exactly what he's doing. Let's see if the champ here can tell us what went wrong and where it went wrong.
Well, the bull got a little hop skip to him. He's almost like a change-up pitcher in baseball. He throws a little ill-timing with him. Tuff got a little out of time, got his arm behind him right there, and when you get out of square, down you go, no matter who you are. And that was, you got to hand it to the bull. He was darn sure bucked.
Well, let's take a look at it one more time. As you mentioned, that hop, skip, and a jump. If you hit a ground ball to a shortstop and he picks it up, takes one step to set himself to throw you out at first base, he may not need that step. And he was one step off. The upper part of his body was out of position. It's history.
Well, he's like Babe Ruth. He never hit every ball that was thrown at him, but when he did, it was usually a home run.
Yeah, when he stepped up to the plate to swing those get back Loretta. Now, as we talk to our number 3, or the third man in line, remember, we're looking at the best 30 cowboys of any place in the United States and Canada, and the rankest bulls from 4 different rodeo producers. As our handheld cameraman will take you in close enough to where you can actually see a louse on that bull's back right there in the middle of his hump, if that's what it is. What we want to show you here is the dynamic size. And when they say awesome, and my kids would say, rad, Dad, I mean, that bull's bad. And he's good, but he's bad. And you got to be bad to be good in this business.
You got it, Bob. This bull is a bull that out back, you can put kids on him and they ride him around.
Come on.
Gentle as a dog. But when you put him in that buck and shoot, he knows his job, and he usually gets the cowboys on the ground.
How many bulls would you say out of the top 60 to 70 bulls that we have here tonight are gentle like that you can actually go up and do anything you want to them?
I'd say this is probably the only one.
And the rest of them are going to blow snot in your shorts and knock you in the dirt.
Yeah, but every once in a while you'll find one like this, but the bull just likes to buck.
All right, we can talk about this youngster right here. You've seen him since his high school and pre-high school days. Brian Riley comes from Dunnigan, California, and this kid's been accident-prone. We've had him close to a top 10 in the national finals. We've had him right here at the Bull Riders Only Series, and we seem to get him right to his peak, and then he's injury-prone.
He says this year he's feeling better than he ever has, and he thinks this is going to be the year that he's going to stay healthy all year. He's also become a promoter, though. He's putting on some bull ridings.
Well, there's a lot of cowboys that as they figure out whether they want to do this for a living or not, there's another way to make a buck, and it's not an easy, fast one either. We're going to give him a chance to reset his rope right here, and this old bull's kind of trying to molest his body in there, jump one way and the other. And, you know, when you lift that rope and pull it on them, they know that it's about time for the crack of the gate, and they're going to take advantage of whacking your knee if they can.
You don't want to call it? Okay. Oh, okay.
All right, it's Brian Riley, Dunnigan, California. Now, you tell me this old bull's gentle outside the pen?
He's gentle outside the pen, but when he gets that arena, he should spin both ways. Big, strong, kind of an eliminator bull. Throws a lot of guys off.
He's big, he's wide, he's strong, and he is here to buck somebody off. This youngster right here, we've seen him on one of the best 10, one of the best 15 and 20 in the world. We've had him there in that position 4 or 5 different times, and then we seem to injure him. He'll pull a hamstring, he'll pull a groin. Let's get him out of here tonight.
Yeah, here he goes.
Hey, California, whoa!
Big, strong bull. Man, Brian's got a hold on him, though. He's got a good seat. He's going to go all the way.
Over there. Well, this is the first one of 3 that we can see that may be a qualified ride. Joe Bumgardner. And our bullfighters are in position. Lloyd Ketchum and Joe Bumgardner with a great job. Oh, the Californians. Here they are, 12,000 strong. Woo, 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 that
They love it, don't they? They love it.
All right, here's the power.
Brian comes out good, real good here, right here. He gets him in a little storm right here. A lot of power. That's 1,800 pounds going up there, dropping.
Look at him reach back.
Got a little
with that
storm,
left
but
foot,
then he
though.
got right back in there, got in that pocket. When a bull's spinning, there's a spot in there that there's nothing going on. To the left of it, the right of it, all hell is breaking loose, and that's what Brian's trying to move to, what they call the pocket.
Well,
and
he's done a good job. Put his pockets in the right spot. Everything looked good. Now, as we await the judges' score, remember we're looking at a 1 to 25 for the man, the same for the bull from 2 judges, a 50-50 deal, and a 79 for the first of 3. That's the first qualified ride we've seen.
And he'll move on to that second go-around.
Gary, as we get ready for our next cowboy, I want to talk about score averages here. Remember, it's half the bull and half the man. And I want to look at there. Somebody'd like to pay 20 bucks for those seats tonight. Those are the only empty seats that we had behind the chutes, and they said they didn't want to sell them. People say, we'll pay full price just to sit there. Don't be surprised if they don't fill up. But the scoring system, when you look at a 70, that's better than average. And if you say, well, I got a 70 on a test, I did pretty good, but I didn't do good enough. The score's at 79 starting. How many 80s do you think we'll see? How many 90s do you think we'll see with this exceptional rank of cowboy?
Well, the farther the competition goes, the tougher the stock gets. So a 79 is a great score, but when you get down towards the end, you're going to get some bulls that, if they get ridden, are going to be in the 90s, maybe even the mid-90s. That one bull, Wolfman, they scored 100 on him. So anything can happen the farther you go in this competition.
Well, Sean McRoberts is one of those that's qualified with us many, many times. We see him all over the United States and Canada as one of the rankest little bull riders. Watch here. Gate opens. He's in position. Champ, let's go with him.
He's got a good start here. This bull's throwing a lot of junk at him. He's kind of like we talked about that change-up pitcher earlier. He's giving him a ride, a lot of junk, but he handled it mighty good.
Now, when you talk about jump and a hop, skip, and then the offset, if a bull will start into that jump, make it, and then hit, turn to the right, turn to the left, or maintain a consistency, are they easier to ride? Do they score better on a bull like that?
Well, for a great bull riders, the better timing they are, they're just like timing a real good fastball thrower in baseball. If he's consistent, the hitters are going to figure him out. But see how that bull kind of slips, slides, goes the other direction, that makes them a lot harder to ride, and usually the degree of difficulty goes up, and they usually get a pretty good score for it. Sean adjusted real well and made a nice bull ride.
We're talking about 74 points above average is the way we'd look at it, but maybe not enough to qualify him into the next round.
A little more kick would have helped. The higher they kick, the higher they score. Bull kind of quit kicking on him a little bit, but didn't help him to ride any, but...
All right, it's time to go to the Northland. Glenn Keeley from Nanton, Alberta, Canada, one of 2 of the youngsters that not only just rides good, but this kid has come through the ranks the hard way. He was a calf rider and a mutton buster in Canada just as a little guy, 7, 8, 9 years old, into the boys steer riding competition, a buck and horse rider in the amateur ranks and onto the ranks of the pros. He has paid more than his dues, and now he is getting paid back for it.
Glenn weighs probably, I would say, 121 pounds soaking wet. This bull weighs 2,200 pounds, Bob.
Well, can you figure those odds against it when you figure, is it 22 to 1? Is it 200 times to 10? Any way you look at it, it's man's muscle and man's try.
Well, that's why it's such a balanced event. This is a game that you cannot muscle a bull. It's something that, when you got something that large, you got to balance. You got to get in that right spot and stay there.
Now, that bull was just about ready to go. And then, all of a sudden, he went to jump up and threw him out of balance, so he's going to reach down, reset.
Well, those bulls will try to take every advantage they can. They'll try to get a shot at you by leaning down in there where it gives them a bigger blow out of there. A lot of times they squat and lean against your leg, and that was what he was doing there to Glenn, and he had to straighten him up where he can get a decent shot at him.
Gary, let's take a look at that rope and that glove and the rosin that we talk about. Now, you can read about it in the program, but you can't get any closer than that. When you can see the wrinkle and the scuff on a glove, I'm talking about camera work that's going to make you feel like a bull rider.
That rosin is put on there to make that rope so it's sticky and won't run through the hand. When you got 18 or 2,200 pounds of bull on the end of your arm, as in this case, you better have it pretty sticky and pretty gluey where it doesn't come out of there, because you get a little bit out of shape and it's gone.
Just a cakewalk for kids like this. Glenn Keeley, the Canadian, and
he's tapped, Bob. He's tapped. Look at him go to work with them spurs. He's earning points there.
Now, you don't have to spur them, and you don't have to qualify like you do in the buck and horse riding events by having your feet set at the end of that first jump. This kid showed up in Long Beach, California tonight. He said, I'm going to Southern California where the sun's shining, the money flows, and the girls are all beautiful.
And if you look in this audience, these girls are beautiful here tonight. Glenn just come out of Canada where it's cold. He gets down there in this warm sun. He feels good. I mean, he comes to ride. That just, whenever you feel good, you feel more like riding. And you can see that on Glenn's face when just look at that intenseness in his face. Whenever you get aggressive, you start using them feet. That's, you know, a cowboy's riding good and come to ride. Nice bull ride.
They liked it. They're going to crack him out with an 86, and there's the first, not only above 80, but at the highest side of it. We're going to see a lot of 90s. I'm going to predict by the time we're done in the 1991 World Championships of Bull Riders only, and that's just the first one. As of right now, we're talking about 3-2. It's the Cowboys in favor for the first time that we've seen it. He put him to the hump side. All right, Marty Stannard, here's another one of our homebred right here from California.
A lot of drop on this bull. Marty is one of the best riders away from his hand that there is. See how he keeps moving out on them legs, getting that position on the inside of the spin. When you go that direction, he's going to ride probably 75 out of 80 bulls that go that direction. He is literally one of the best away from his hand.
Well, I'll tell you, one of the best things we've had away from anybody's hand was hands from the fans tonight. That old bull was not going to quit. He said, I'm here to endanger somebody's species, and happens to be a guy in that black hat. That old bull wanted him, Joe Bumgardner, and Lloyd Ketchum doing an excellent job of saving his life right there.
We talk about balance. Watch the way that he keeps moving out on his legs and over that front end. The front end is the bull rider's best friend. If you get back in the back from the bull rope to the flank is what we call the danger zone. Marty is one of the best at moving up and staying in that comfort zone, right out over that front end, making the bull pack him. Beautiful bull ride.
85 points, only one away from the lead right there. Sanger, California, you're on the history books, and there's your happy-go-lucky cowboy right there. That's Marty Stannard. I think he enjoyed it. Let's go to Irvin Williams. Here's the Tulsa Twister. Now, I guarantee you this kid and this bull can take that 87. Look at here.
I'm going to tell you what, these guys are coming to ride tonight, Bob. They aren't going to buck off when that World Championship's at stake here.
You're looking at $10,000 in the short round just to get the money. And these bulls, we didn't bring a bunch of puppy dogs in here.
No,
this
sir.
This is not a 4-H contest. They're here for the best of the FFA. We brought bulls for bull riders only.
If they get better as the competition goes, it's going to be the wildest you've ever seen here.
Well, the energy in this house tonight has a lot to do with it, Gary.
You bet it does. You bet it does. When you hear people screaming like that, you hear it while you're riding. It pumps you up. And it just makes you try that much harder, because when you got 1,800 pounds of mad-as-hell bull under you, you got to get motivated. And he makes a beautiful ride there.
Well, we're looking at 81 points. Now, that doesn't seem to be as significant as the 86 we saw a moment ago for Glenn Keeley, the Canadian. Marty Stannard's 85 and 81. They're going, well, that's just average.
Well, you got to remember, if you get through the go-around, you're going for go-around money, but the main thing, you go into that next go-around, and everybody goes in even as you go in.
Now, remember, we also have an opportunity to seat some cowboys in the 5 best that come out of the top of the pack, the guys we talked about earlier, with Wasey Cathy at the top and Ty Murray, of course. And when that happens, they draw a bye in one round because they have been the best winners throughout the 1991 season. Brett Todd.
They actually get a bye on 2 rounds. We get the top 10 guys, the lower 5, get a bye on the first round. The top ones get a bye on 2 rounds.
Now, does that make it luckier for the bulls as well?
Well, it makes well, yeah, kind of, but it sure makes it easier for them because they ain't got to get on as many bulls.
All right, young Brett. This is Brett Todd. Montana's had a lot of great riders, and we're always bragging, of course, on the Roscoe Ranger, Clint Bronger. But Montana throughout the years has sent us not only great bull riders and bronc riders, but bulldoggers as well. Let's see what we can do for him right here.
Oh, Brett Todd's going to be going home with a sore back. That bull put it on him.
Now, did it just whip him loose and jerk his hand loose?
Well, he got a little back on what you call your pockets. You got to, when a bull, watch how far this bull rears. Remember I told you earlier, the front end is your best friend. Now watch this bull, the way he comes up. See how he gets back. He gets back. He wanted to be forward. Here he gets back again, slides back on that flank, jerks the rope out of his hand. That's the place you don't want to be.
Right there, boy. Throw you in a corner like a dirty shirt.
Hard.
One more time we take a look at it. You said the front end is your best friend?
The front end is a bull rider's best friend. See how he slides back here? He's not getting over that front end enough. He gets slid back on what you call your pockets. If them W's touch, you're in trouble. Ooh.
Oh, man, did that hurt when you land on the point of your hip like that. Has a tendency to let all of your body know you did the wrong thing. All right, now we're going to look at the #1 bull rider in the world here. This is Aaron Seamus, 24 years old. Just a green behind the ears kid. He's still wet. He just got out of the shower.
Aaron Seamus has the best attitude in rodeo. Last year, every time we've seen him, he was banged up, he was drugged, he was stomped, but he was always smiling and he was always laughing and he kept that good attitude. Now he's won over $40,000 so far this year. He's #1 man in the world. And this kid can ride. Oh, he's got his work cut out for him tonight.
Now he comes in #1 in the world, but he's going to come out of the back of the pack of the bull riders. He's going to have to do it the hard way in this little black Bolly Dandy. Might have just stood him on his toes a second or two too early.
I don't know where the judges have a watch. He might not have made the whistle, but he might have made that 8-second watch. Starts good right here. This bull starts flattening out, strings him out a little. He has to give that double arrow to get in there. He might have slapped him. I can't tell for sure. He got pretty close. All right, they marked him, Bob. They marked him.
All right, that's
I thought he might have made the watch because that was second effort all the way. Whenever a bull reverses it, it makes him twice as hard to ride.
Now, not only did they mark him, but put him in at 87 officially here.
Man.
We're 1 point over Glenn Keeley now. So California goes back to the lead, takes it away from the Canadians. We're going to jump back down in there and try it again. The 10th man is up and out. Gary, as of now, we're 7-3 in favor of the Cowboys, and we've talked about it today all day long, the last 2 days in the draw, the caliber of the bull. We didn't expect this to happen.
These bull riders, this championship really means a lot to these bull riders, and they're putting out that extra effort, and you see those 12,000 people out there screaming and holler. You always do better when you got a crowd like that. It just motivates you.
Well, if it's energy, we're wired for 220 in here tonight. There's no doubt about that.
It's like the World Series when it's in the Metrodome. You know, that energy level is like they say, the 10th man on the team.
Well, there's no doubt about who's next with the TN on the blue glove and the man who probably set a lot of different standards. This is the all-time great California world champion, Teddy Noose from Escalon.
And I don't think anybody can get hotter than this guy. This is one of the most exciting bull riders in the rodeo business. Every year at the national finals, I've never seen him come out of there with less than $50,000.
Well,
he can set things on fire.
Watch him ride that easy. I also want to compliment this young man that KNBC television here in Los Angeles, they have been following him all over the city. And this young man is one of the finest speakers that we have promoting the industry. Let's watch him one more time for the ride. Ted Noose, you are a superstar.
Okay, watch Teddy. We talked about that front end. Watch how he moves up on his legs. Teddy used to ride jumping horses, which really give him an advantage of learning how to move up on those legs in what they call two-point position, right in that balance zone at all times. Bull quits him a little bit right here, which would dock him a few points. He's not going to be quite as high as he'd like to be, but he's going to go to that next go-around, and that's the important thing. That's the name of the game.
Believe it or not, right now the 79 ties with the second lowest score that we had. We started out with Brian Riley in the 79 and thought we had something. It's all right, though. All you've got to do is be in that qualifying position, and that's exactly what he's done.
We said earlier this is going to be a night for it. Wow.
All right, we're back down here. Number 18 as you take a look to the back numbers. Now, don't disregard what position that they're coming in because everybody's here with a fresh start. I don't care if your name's Tough Hedeman, Jim Sharp, or whoever it is. You have got to ride an equal position and do the best you can with the bull you've got. And maybe we're overshadowing the bulls here. We're talking about too much power on these Cowboys. Beaver Jernigan has been one of those guys, when we can keep him off the injured list, he can ride anything that run under him.
You bet he is. Yeah, I talked to him earlier tonight, and I said, where you been? You been rodeoing? He said, I've been home making babies. He has. He's got a new baby on the way, and so that's going to make him a little extra hungry. So I would look for Beaver to stay on.
Dripping Springs, Texas. He's buying baby shoes and Pampers, and he wants that 8-second whistle to blow. He's got him a high loper now. Here's a total different bull style in the bucking pattern that this old Brayford bull's got here. What are you going to do with him when it comes to the judges' part now?
Well, that bull, he kind of weakened on him a little bit. He went straight, not quite that difficult to ride. He's going to be down low, but I think Beaver's going to take his marking because the important thing here is to advance. You get into that next go-around and the stock gets tougher as you go. See the bulls jumping and kicking good, but they want him to spin where they create that centrifugal force, and he just doesn't have that real lively action that really makes a tough bull.
74 points is all we're going to mark him. That ties with the lowest score we've had for Sean McRoberts so far, but he has qualified. I'm going to say easy. Is the bull easy?
Well, he's easy for him, as great a rider as he is, but you put someone else on there that's not that good a rider, he's going to be real tough.
Don't invite me. We'll look at it that way. All right, your 12th bull rider ready to go now. Think about it. On their mind, they're looking at an 87, an 86, 85, 81. A pair of 79s is what they're trying to beat. Do they listen to those scores? Are they aware of what they have to do physically?
You bet. You know, you watch every rider out, you listen to the scores, you kind of get you a game plan. Get the whistle is the name of the game, but sometimes, you know, if you need that extra point, you're going to have to open up, maybe go for throwing your feet at them a little bit, try to get an extra point to go win first. Cowboys don't like to win second. They'll take it, but most of them like first, because that's where all the prizes is, that's where all the glory is.
Well, let's try with a Nevada-raised cowboy that now makes his home in Fort Worth, Texas. This is Scott Mendez. Whoa! I don't think we're going to get our camera any closer than that than a headshot for you, and that might have been a lens cover right there. I'm not sure who we've got down at this end. If that was Brian Nellis, I hope he's still got two eyes to look through that lens finder.
What did he do, slip there?
Oh, man, that old bull did hit the front of that. Scotty Mendez, he can ride them. Long legs. There's a 6'3" bull rider.
But one of the best in the business. Made his first national finals last year, and people are picking him to be one of the great ones. Going both directions, Scotty is in perfect control.
Look at the upper body control.
There's them using them feet right at the end we're talking about. He was going for the broke, going for another point.
Points, I'm telling you, points. There's a couple of points right there. Oh, Lord.
I seen a perfect 10 just walk by into the audience.
Yeah, so much for the bull riding, folks. They've got this broadcast booth in the wrong place tonight. I'm afraid that maybe we've been detracted. Let's get back to riding bulls.
Okay, good bull right here. Turns back to that left, goes into that spin, but...
You ought to look at what's sitting to our right, the hell of the bottom of that chute.
All right.
Big one, that's 79. That's a pair of numbers for you.
Oh, man. I like that 10 better.
Look at there. That
wow.
bull drove his head. Now, I mean, you talk about drive your head through a tube of 12. Thank God it wasn't Scotty and or our cameraman. Oh, don't let her walk through us when we get on tape.
Man, alive with that one.
Oh, Sully, I knock your socks off with this.
Who we got, Stu?
I don't care.
Stu,
no, this is prime meat.
Bull come from me, right?
Did he? Tell him. All right, Gary LaFew, let's go with one of the little guys, but one of the tough guys. Stu Sellers comes from Mineola, Florida, and I think you know this bull personally.
Ethel's Nightmare. Come from me. We sold him at the bull sale a couple of years ago. He went up to Utah and has become one of the best bulls on the circuit. Stu, this is his first trip back from a broken neck. He broke his neck last fall, was in a halo for a while, and this is his maiden trip, brought a rank bull. He's got that face mask on because he's had some face injuries in the past. But Stu was sitting in the top 15 when he got hurt. He's right back making another beautiful ride tonight.
You bet he's making a beautiful ride. Now, you talk about body control. When you come off an injury like that, did he ride a little more humped up than he used to? Because I can remember him a little elongated, you might say, in the upper part of his body.
Well, he's a little rusty. 6 months without riding some will really kind of rust you up a little bit. But I thought he did a good job getting the whistle on old Ethel's Nightmare.
Now, that's something to say. If you're going to be a lineman and you break your neck and you come back and ram heads and butt heads with these guys, it's going to be tough. Stewie, nice to have you back in business. And we're talking about 78 points for Stu Sellers. That can't hurt him any.
No,
he's going to be in there. Who is it?
Greg Gould. Greg Gould's the Cowboy, Sheelan, Washington. Y8 Patriot, the bull.
If you'd like to have anything closer to you than about 1,600 pounds, a crossbred framer bull, and get close to that Cowboy, you see somebody reaching down in there to try to save him, get him back off the front end. That old bull rears back, is going to mash his melon.
Well, a lot of Cowboys can get hurt in the chute as bad as they can outside. Old bull got a little dairy in him, looks like.
Whoa!
There he comes into that spin. Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
So long for Greg.
Well, the milking barn's not the place that that bull's going to go back to. Dairy, it might have been with a white on the bull, but our Chelan Washington Cowboy is a little hot right now. He knows that it's history for him tonight.
Well, when you get bucked off in this first round, that's all. You're not coming back. And he was maybe a little too pumped. Sometimes you try so hard, you get a little stiff, get you a little out of shape. He doesn't look loose. See how he kind of looks a little stiff? I mean, this is like any other athletic game. You got to stay loose and be moving.
Jerked him out away from his hand to the offside, and when that thigh of the leg hit in the middle of the back of that bull, has a tendency to jack you up off your rope and get you out of there, and it did just exactly that. As of now, it's 10 for the Cowboys and 4 for the Bulls, only 4 disqualifications, and all of them from a clean buck-off. Spud Whitman's the man. We're going to go to Paradise, Kansas, and I'm not sure this kid's old enough to drive in here. I asked him the other day, I said, you carry a razor? He said, what for?
They sure wouldn't let him in a bar without a proper ID because he looks about 15, but this kid can ride. Oh, I know this bull. This is about 1,900 pounds of power right here.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Somebody pulled the plug on the power, and he pulled the plug and got out of there.
Look like these bulls got a little too much hay or something. Some of them got belly aches. They're just kind of like people. If they get a belly ache, they don't feel like bucking, and that looked like it was the case for that bull.
When they jump into the power position, that first jump out of there, you can see he's looking for a place to go, trying to get his strategy right. He was in trouble right there.
He had a lot of trouble, made one heck of a move to get back over that front end. Bull is really strong. He was going to be some points if the bull didn't weaken right here. He started to slow down and stopped with him.
Well, we'll see what our judges have to say if he qualified or not. Did he make to the whistle? They're talking 71, but they're going to give him an option to get to do it again if they want to draw him a re-ride.
Did I say that? I would bet he doesn't take. I bet he doesn't take that re-ride because the name of the game is get that next go around. There's good stock in there, and you want to make sure you progress on.
All right, Mike Erickson, Choctaw, Oklahoma. And we watched this cowboy the other day at Pocatello ride some of the rankings. Whoa, no!
You know, I think that's Buddy Golden.
It is.
It is Buddy Golden. That ain't Mike Erickson.
Change on you, boys.
And he's not too happy about the whole thing.
Buddy Golden comes from Sacramento, California, and it's going to have to be history for him. He didn't want to be the 5th man to have to be bucked off when we've already bucked 16. The odds are in the Cowboys' favor tonight, and I said, I'm going to agree with you that the energy in this audience is probably playing 25 to 30% of that.
Now, Buddy there, he got a little too far over the front end. There's a center of balance on every animal. When you get over that front end, if you get too far, it's going to put too much weight on your legs, and they're going to kick behind you, and that's what happened with Buddy there. Buddy just got married last fall, and, you know, sometime I know right after I got married, I went 6 months without placing it, just kind of put added pressure on me, and that could be the case with him. He's trying too hard because he's got the ability. He was in the top 15 when he injured his knee last year. So
I'm not going to follow that statement with any other questions because I don't want to know any more in-depth answers to what getting married has to do with your bull riding ability.
Well, it's the pressure. It's such a mental game, you know.
Who is it, Zolt? All right, here's the Choctaw, Oklahoma bull buster. This is little Mike Erickson. Flat tops the bull, and we're ready to ride, Gary.
Mike Erickson, he's in the top 10 for the World Championship this year. He went about, oh. My goodness.
Well,
I was going to say he went about 8,000 at Pocatello the other day, but he's not going to win anything here.
Little overcompensation of the upper part of the body, and the bottom half wasn't ready to recompensate for it.
Well, the thing about riding bulls is whenever they turn back, you want to wait to let the bull come and then come right behind him. In his case, he got a little ahead of him. Watch right here. As the bull comes back, see, he's in good shape right here. Now, as the bull comes back, you want to move over and let the bull pull you into the turn on your legs. But Mike does what they call cut the corner. He drops in there a little too far, and that gets you down in the well.
And here it comes.
And then you get back on your arm, and then you get that yank, and it rips you plumb out of there.
Well, I'm glad he didn't endanger that beautiful shirt. I've never seen cowboys in fancier shirts in my life.
Okay, here's somebody giving her 110.
Okay.
That's Dan Lowry.
Dan Lowry, can tell by the way he walks.
I talked to Dan Lowry earlier tonight. He's had the best spring. He's been rodeoing for 20 years. He's had the best spring he's ever had. He's won close to $20,000 this year. He's sitting in the top 5, riding better than he ever has. And I don't know, how old is Dan? He must
38.
be 38.
He's one right behind Wasey.
38 years old, and he just gets better as he goes.
Well, you've just watched 18 of what we call the best in the business, the cream of the crop. having the opportunity to not only bring them in here to Long Beach in front of an action-packed crowd of a sellout house, but to run those kind of power bulls under him. Maybe the one bull you thought might have had a bellyache could be the only one I'd have in contention that didn't fit in this pen tonight. Let's do it. We're going to go 19 times. We're ready to roll to get. You can do it any ready way you want to, but they're ready to ride. Oh, that's not Ricky, is it?
No. Ricky will be up later in the go-around. This is, I can't tell who it is.
Zales?
He's got a pretty shirt on. Dan Wolf. Dan Wolf's the rider.
Dan Wolf's one of my neighbors from Pendleton, Oregon, and you talk about pretty shirts. I don't think in the last year or so, since we have started this project with bull riders only and our friends from Roper, these kids like to look good, and this kid, whoa!
Oh,
ouch!
Goodness. He got a handful tonight.
Woo! Smack City right there.
That bull could have been in the final go-around. That was a lot of power right there. Danny Wolf has been one of the hotter bull riders in our series, made one of the higher marked rides of the whole year at Tacoma, our first rodeo. But look at that bull blow.
Man, he
wow.
Throw that belly roll at him, and that dropped his chin right down on the top of those horns. He's lucky he got away with that.
Oh, you just got to have a good day when you ride one like that.
One more
that
time.
Was outstanding. That bull.
Now you're looking at 1,650, 1,700 pounds.
Look at that
Ooh,
blow.
Look at the blow. There's a different camera angle. He's lucky that he came across with the free hand. That saved his face.
He could have lost his teeth right there. That's how cowboys lose their teeth. When you look at how high that bull is kicking. You get a bull that strong and kick that high and you get back on your arm, you're going to lose some teeth sometimes.
Well, there's two four-letter words that have got to match up, buck and ride. And if you don't get the two of them together, you're not going to make the whistle.
Spud's going to take his re-ride, looks like.
Spud is.
Spud
Whitman. Yeah. Ready, Zolly?
Wow.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we get ready for Spud Whitman, our television producer, Zolly Vodsta, has died in the truck. Sure glad you feel good.
I like that shirt.
I like that kid and that shirt.
Man,
I'll tell you what. The Roper people have kind of stepped out over the edge when it comes to Western wear, and they have changed it all. And you look right here in the Los Angeles area, you and I have seen it the last 3 nights of the nightclubs around here. I mean, they are stepping out doing some fancy stuff.
Wait a minute. My wife's listening to this program. I ain't been to no nightclubs. What are you talking about?
I'm sorry to have mentioned that. We were watching the videos from the nightclubs in the last 3 nights from our hotel room where we were drinking milk and eating chocolate chip cookies.
Yeah, that's better.
Spud Whitman was a kid that was in that nightclub. We were talking about him the other night. 15 years old, and some security guard's going to be in trouble with that.
Now, from the looks of that last bull, Bob, I would have, I think I wouldn't have took my re-ride. I'd have wanted to advance. But Spud is, you take these young riders, they're aggressive, they're wanting to win something, they're going to get on everything they can. He may have to get on 5 bulls counting the re-ride tonight if he goes all the way. Oh, my goodness, he's got a good one here. Stay in there, Spud. Oh, my goodness. He's going to win some money.
Holy mackerel, mama. He not only made the right move and taken a re-ride for that option, Gary, but then he came out of there. And think about it. It's been about 4.5, 5 minutes since he had that 71 with an option. He was the 15th man to go. He comes back in the 20th position. And look at this kid pump up for this
this bull right in the latch, and he is getting it. Spud, a little trouble right there, makes one heck of a move to get back to that front end. This is what bull riding is all about. Spud Whitman is going to be around a while. That kid's got some talent.
Well, our bull riding officials liked it as well, and they're going to crank him in with an 85. 87 still in the lead, 86, and then a pair of 85s. He ties for 3rd and 4th unofficially with Marty Stannard from California.
He's going to get him some go-around money, plus he's going to advance too, so pretty good move.
Well, they're making it happy for him, and he's going to make it happy for these fans. Look at there. I didn't even take the starch out of the collar on that shirt. This kid comes back like a Sunday afternoon picnic in church. He said, no problem with it. Little grin for you right there. That's what the modern day bull riders only athletes are made out of. Yeah.
I met Cotton earlier today.
Have you?
Coming.
All right, we're riding bulls, everybody, and welcome back to the Long Beach Coliseum. It's not going to get any better than this. Hot stuff at 8 seconds, Gary.
Oh, Spud's made it again.
Hey.
That kid is hot, isn't he?
Well, I'll tell you what, Montana sent us some track stars, and you better have your cleats in position to make this work. It's all on tune, and we're in gear.
Look at that bull. That is one ornery son of a gun.
Now, when you take a look at this youngster, we say he is legal and 21 years of age. It looks like he's about 14. The power position of Gary where he needs to be.
He is really riding. That is a great bull ride. He's going to be, I wouldn't be surprised if he's 90 or better on this bull ride, Bob. That is a great bull ride.
Well, when our judges put it together, half of the bull and half of the man, we're looking at an 86 to crank this round into position. 86 points, Bud.
Oh, paid the price.
When we talk about getting ready to ride, in the last 15 to 20, 30 seconds, maybe a minute at the most, Gary LeFew, you have been in this position 1,000 times. You've taught 1,000,000 times of how to position your body, how to get your mind right. What do you have to do to sanction all body parts, mental parts, and just have it right?
Well, the main thing, Bob, is to relax.
Oh,
if
sure.
you get tight, you're just like stiff as a board from one end to the other, and you got 1,800 pounds pulling on you. It can really yank you around. But if you really stay relaxed, you only put the muscles into play that you need. And that makes you faster and quicker and smoother. And in a game like this, you got to be quick and you got to be smooth, and you got to be in the right spot.
This is exactly what Glenn Keeley intended to do, but I don't think we're going to get him to the buzzer this time. Joe Bumgardner, along with Lloyd Ketchum, right there for the safety factor of getting him out of there. But I can see from this disgruntled look on his face, he knows that he did not make the qualified ride.
Well, he had a good ride going. That bull was smart. He felt him down in there a little too far, and he went that other way. And whenever you commit yourself that far, you do not want to get in there because they'll go the other way, and you're hung out to dry.
Make one move too far to the right, one move too far to the left. If you're up on top, you're in trouble as well. Who is it? All right, it's Auburn, California's Aaron Seamus. He's #1 in the world standings right now.
Aaron has got a good one going here. This old bull's stringing him out, though. He's having to give what we call second effort to get back in there. But that's why he's #1 in the world. It's he don't give up.
When he comes into the Bull Riders Finals Championships, he's not #1 in this segment. He's going to have to come out of the back of the pack. Even though he's won over $40,000, he is going to have to whip up here tonight.
And whip up he's doing.
And we're talking about 81 points for Aaron. That can't hurt him. Hold him solid at 81, puts him in the lead in the round. Well, Gary, we've talked about a lot of California champion bull riders, but this man has not only set the pace and has the class. Teddy Noose is a world superstar.
And one of the most exciting bull riders in rodeo. This guy has a style of riding that just, when you watch him, he just accentuates the moves of the bull, and he always seems to be in the right spot.
I thought he was going to over-accentuate there at about the 4th turn. It looks like he was about to slide off the center point.
Got a little trouble, but that's what champions are made of. They can get back in there.
And the fans are loving him in a sellout house at the Long Beach Coliseum tonight. Southern California not only brought us sunshine after 3 days of rain, but they have gathered the greatest cowboys and the greatest bulls. You're looking at a champion. 76 points. Not the highest mark you're going to see here tonight, but it's going to be a good one. Fans are booing. He's saying, give him some more. All right, as we get ready in the roper shoot this time with the Fort Worth, Texas Cowboy, this is Scotty Mendez. Born and raised in the state of Nevada. Reno is his hometown. But what he's got, an outlaw skull, and you talk about a 6'3" guy. He's a foot taller and probably 30 pounds on an average bigger than all of the other bull riders in here. Does that make any concession?
Well, if you don't ride on your legs, it does. But Scotty gets up on his legs good and he's been riding bulls ever since he was 10 years old. Oh, my goodness.
It's snorting the shorts time, and he's coming to get him.
Scotty rides good, but he didn't ride good enough for that one. That was a juicy little bull.
Well, juice is what they wanted, and that juicer had a little more power in it than what he wanted. That bull basically just cat scattered out from underneath him.
Throwed a lot of wicked change-up moves, and then when he caught him out of position.
That's a tough round to get thrown off in, and he is out of the race. Brent Terry. Got a bull.
They didn't give him to me.
Jim, did you get them down? Are they on the? What do we need to send? All right, it's time for a Colorado City, Texas Cowboy now. This is Brent Terry. Now, you talk about a guy that drew a bye in the first round. He doesn't have to come in here and try as hard as some. But in the next 5 categories that would jump up with those 19 guys that had a shot out of the first one, he ought to be fresher. He says he likes what he's going to have to ride, and not just the character, but they're trying to hold him away. How would you like something that's going to try to kill you?
Well, you don't like it, but you got to go for it. This is where the money is. It's dangerous down that chute. That other cowboy is doing what they call spot him. If that bull jumps and kicks in there, he's got to hold him to keep him from going on the
Well,
head.
he's got him a brand new roper shirt on. He says, last thing I want to do is have somebody rip the buttons off. Old bull's laying down. Is he trying to read something on the bottom? I don't like the looks of those horns. There. That's why they've got his head tied, cross-tied. And now Will you call for him right there? Will he want to reset his rope?
No, if his rope's okay, he might hang on to it, but he's going to try to get that bull the best shot he can. There's a lot of money at stake here. The championship is at stake. Now the bull's standing good enough. He gets a good shot, and out of there he comes.
Oh!
He's tapped.
He's
tapped.
Oh, yes!
He's in there.
Oh, this little Texan's making us tea tonight. Look at there.
Nice bull ride.
Oh, Lord. I'll tell you what, with this fan club that they're watching here tonight, I said, we want him to ride, but could we get a couple of guys hooked on top of it? He was so well tuned to every move that bull was making. He made it look easy.
He only weighs about 120 pounds. He's got a low center of gravity, and that really gives you an advantage when you're a bull rider.
Well, the advantages are going to come up at an 85 after a bye in the first round, 85 in this round. He is second now behind Spud Whitman from Montana. Mark Kane. Here's it. All right. Got you. Mark Kane comes from Atoka, Oklahoma. And this youngster is another one of those that had a bye out of the first round. When you look at one of the best 15 in the world and a kid who was right at the peak of his career last year ahead of the finals, injuries, little injuries that keep him away from a world championship. Watch this, Gary.
Oh, he's got a bull under him. I know this bull. This is Dr. Pepper Skoll of the Russell String, both ways. Mark is riding good. I told him earlier in the year, you're riding as good as anybody. You've made two of the best bull rides I've seen all of last year. In fact, in my opinion, I thought he should have won Wichita. I thought he made the best bull ride there. The judges seen it the other way, but it was one fantastic bull ride. He rode the bull of the year last year. This kid can ride.
Well, his attitude is probably one of the greatest things in his favor. This is one of the Christian leader cowboys in the rodeo industry today, and the kid's hot. 79.
He's in there. Okay, not another word, not a word.
They changed his scores, Ole. You want to reset and take it on audio? He's 81. Holler if you want that voice tag. Jim Sharp used to live in Kermit, Texas, and he can live any place he wants in Texas, but Stephenville is the choice now for the Cowboy capital. Look at here, Mr. Sticky, twice the world champion.
Jim Sharp is riding good. Earlier in the year, he was having little problems. He was getting bucked off a lot, but the last 10 bull rides he's made, he's been no less than 76 points, riding like the Jim Sharp of old.
Since the officials can't hear us, I want to ask you a question. Did he come around and tag that chute gate?
It looked like he touched it, but I don't think they'll get him for it. It was unintentional. All right, you see Jim, he moves out over that front end. He has probably the best center of balance and looks prettier on him than anybody. Just he makes ranked bulls look easy, and that goes against him sometime. See, I don't think that really helped him, so I don't think they'll get him for touching that fence. He did touch it.
All right, we're talking about the 80s again. Let's pack him in with an extra 3 on top of it. 83 for Jim Sharp. We'll be right back with more of this round's competition in the Bull Riders Only World Championships in Long Beach right after these messages. Everybody to the Bull Riders Only 1991 World Championships. We're in Long Beach, California in a standing room only house tonight. The Long Beach Coliseum's had a lot of great sporting events, Gary LeFew, but it's a pleasure to be here, watching people sitting on top of people, watching cowboys sitting on top of bulls.
I have never seen more pretty women in one audience in my life. It just goes to show that pretty women like bull riding.
Well, the sunshine comes out in Southern California, and the best of the beauties come with them. And when they come to watch guys like Irvin Williams, here's the Tulsa Twister. Irvin Williams is not just another bull rider. This is one of those guys that jumped out in the top 5 to top 10 in the standings, for the world standings, and in the Bull Riders Only standings, he just is there every time. He may not be at the top, but he won't be at the bottom. He's consistently in the top, let's say, 25 to 30 point average.
An aggressive bull rider. The first time I ever seen him, I never knew who he was. He jumped out and win Cheyenne, but he has got a bull on his hands tonight.
Man.
This is, oh my goodness.
Hopping hamburger. I mean, did that old bull come alive? Now, you have got to watch this. He was 81 points in the first round, so I mean, he not only is hot tonight and ready to ride. Let's take another look at it right here. Here's the juice and the power.
You got 1,800 pounds leaping in that air. Now, watch, we talk about that front end. Watch the way he moves up. A lot of whip with his arm and then right back over those legs, getting in position. Gets a little lazy right at the end or just gets on the end of his arm. This bull really throws power at him.
How in the world can you say he gets a little bit lazy?
Oh, right here. Now, watch here. He gets a little bit back, and as this bull comes around right here, well, it was already whistle time. It was. My mistake. He didn't get lazy. He rode him like a
Ooh, boy. Well, 87 points is going to put him to the lead by 1. Montana Spud Whitman now dumps to number 2. 87. Big time for Tulsa. Who? All right, when you're talking about Brent Thurman, we need to be in the high 80s. Let's get him to the 90s if that's possible. And Brent Thurman is very capable. This is the happy-go-lucky smiling kid from Dripping Springs, Texas, and we've got bull riding.
I think Brent's rode 7 or 8 in a row in the bull riders only, and he is hot. This boy can ride. One of the most aggressive riders on the tour. Look at here. He's got a handful tonight.
Yeah, buddy, make it 8 in a row right here, Smiley. Come on, get up, get up.
Oh, man, is this bull riding.
Well, as the whistle comes alive, he knew he was in trouble. He was a jump and a half behind him and off his rope, but he never did quit hustling. You see him just reaching with his knees and his feet, trying to stay up there.
That is his style of riding. He is exciting to watch. A real superstar, this kid.
Well, attitude, again, as we mentioned a moment ago, plays a great part, not only being optimistic, but as you well know, and you've taught psycho-cybernetics for years, 87 points. You put all of the right facts together, and you can't beat him. He just got an A+ on this test. He is now tied for the lead with Irvin Williams, a pair of 87s. Well, ladies and gentlemen, if you're enjoying what you're seeing here tonight in Long Beach, I want to remind you that Freeman Coliseum in San Antonio, Texas is our next stop for the bull riders only. In the 1992 season, we want you to be with us. If you can't join us in San Antonio on the 18th of April, let's ride them here in Long Beach. Oh, Jeff Cathcart, Colorado is, and I don't like to see that limp. We know that he comes in here with a sore knee, and I hate to tell you this, but he fell off a roof. Yes, he fell off a roof, a 2-story roof about 2 weeks ago, helping his neighbor roof a house, and it may have just cost him $10,000.
A lot of times you come in with an injury like that, you got to get up on them legs, and if it hurts to get up on them, Tough Hedeman got in a storm like that last year. He hurt his knee real bad. He kept riding. When the real rank bulls come in, he had enough adrenaline in him that he could overcome the pain, but he said he bucked off more mediocre bulls than he had ever bucked off because he didn't get up on his legs because it hurt to get up there.
Larry Mayfield. It's a little tough for these 2-minute gaps here and then to try to get your energy back, boys. Mary Kay's right here. She's poking me in the ass. Vodka. Let's talk about it. Come on, he's going to gas it. He ain't going to wait for this sunbuck when he gets ready to go here. All right. Brian Riley is in a position that he doesn't want to be in. This bull is not standing right for him. When he gets set, he's got to go, Gary.
He's got to go, and he's got one to go on. This bull's going to get it right there at the end of the gate.
Yes.
Brian is riding good.
Yes.
This looks like the healthy Brian Riley.
And
you see him open up with them feet, Bob?
Yeah, he did. He said, I'm going to gap him. That's that old $2 suitcase move. When you know you are in control, that's when you can gap and give him the extra boots.
That's when you tell a rider is riding good. And look at them enthusiastic people out there. When they start hollering and screaming, you just want to do something. You want to do something.
Well, that old bull tried every way in the world to get out of that chute to get to him. 85 points. That's going to put him unofficially at about third, believe it or not, right now with 85. Woo!
Wow.
Hey, Zoles. Zoli, can I talk to you real quick? Not having the information who's going to come next, we are not being able to be prepared and or having the draw for these next 2 rounds. We sure could use those. Or anybody in Shaw's crew that can get them for us. California pride can do a lot for you. And when you're in your home state, home area like Marty Stannard is, what is he, 300 miles from home? That's an easy drive up at Sanger. He said, I'm coming to Southern California to get some of my home state money. If you watch him try, an old Bomber is going to try to get rid of him.
Bomber, they were 90 points at Tacoma on him. This bull, if he gets tapped, this bull can give you some points. Jumps high, drops about 18, 19.